Second video request, and I call it the Magickal Athlete, since you need to train and practice. So in short ways you can say, when you realize something and you learn something, act upon it. Don't wait for others to do it for you, you start doing it yourself. It is just like if you are thirsty, instead of sitting in a chair and waiting until you get so thirsty, you have to rise up. You can go up and get a glass of water directly. And when you learn a lesson, change anything you can change to activate the learned lesson immediately. Even if it's a small change, make that change. And commit to a practice at least 1.5 to 3 years to get to know it, and then up to life. Once you found the right practice, we'll say. And try out what feels right without committing in the beginning if you're completely new. If something interests you or something, don't commit, and if it feels off, don't do it. But you can see and learn and ask questions, so you have something more in your knowledge, so you can compare. And then you start a daily practice from 5 minutes to hours, but it's quite important that you get it done. Let's say you can say a prayer in 2 minutes or 5 minutes, do a Kabbalistic cross and really focus during those 5 minutes, and that is a practice. But if you don't focus and don't commit, then you won't have any much other than imagination. And then study, try out different things like a scientist and do your research. And what I always did with old manuscripts, often I couldn't even understand Old Greek or Hebrew, but you can look at the manuscripts and ask for wisdom and guidance directly from the angels or the spirits, and feel it out. Something might, it is just like when you look at an old manuscript, something might get, let's say I see golden color illuminating through the page, and then I start to feel how I should do it in a different language, even if it doesn't have many words, and how to fill up and build up a ritual. And that's when you have a spiritual guidance there. And when you have felt it out, what calls you the most? And then you decide and choose, and you act upon it and create a small ritual, and then you follow through. Different have different... But if I do Solomonic magic, you learn the Solomonic magic. When you do Enochian, you learn the Enochian, and so on. Or if you do the Kabbalah, you practice the Kabbalah. And that goes for any pagan religion as well. And never ever stop a ritual. Follow through. However disappointing or boring it is. That is a part of it. When Aleister Crowley failed, that's why they call it, he left the doors open to hell. He failed after 2 months. So you don't ever do that. That is not magic. Since the magic starts right away from the second you step into the circle, and the process can take 3 years and more to show up really. So it's a constant growth and transformation. And take a short note. You can just in your diary put calm, peace or fiery. What happened? You do so many rituals once you get used to it, so you don't pay attention to much more. And there's nothing to report really. And then you also, I always took note of weather, temperature and light changes. Sunlight, moonlight changes, clouds. In my case, often sunlight, it might turn more purple or blue, or there are some shifts like that, color changes that shows a presence. And then, of course, noises, tapping noises, steps, cranks, whatever you call it. or you might have hear audibly or within your head if you say it like that. And then sun and moon practice both. You need a balance there. It is completely out of whack to only practice with only the sun or the moon. You need to strive to become peaceful with both. And if something feels off, don't ever fear to banish right away. Just command it right away. And then you step in and make a new call to the angel. And sometimes there are a lot of spirits surrounding you. So there are these lesser spirits that come quickly and easily and they pretend to be angels. And if something feels off, the angels don't ever get angry that you question them. Or the lesser spirit especially. You get... they notice that you do your best. And then they are more inclined to help you as well. And emotional alchemy, try to balance it out. Since magic kickstarts the healing process, it kickstarts your wisdom, it kickstarts everything, so everything goes out of whack. So you just try to balance it out, whether it's walking in nature, gardening, reading a book, finding a breathing exercise, prayer, something that just puts you in a space where you feel at home. And then it is that you take one step forward and 3 steps backwards, but you still get up the ladder when you climb up to the heavens and to the angels. It's a good sign you are transforming. The harder it gets, the closer you are. Remember that you have to build up your athletical, magical self and spiritual self. And the key is to recognize God, and the angels will help. So, when nothing else works, I just say simply, my one true God, the all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good God, or something like that. And I just blurt it out, and this is it, and then to the angels. And when that don't work, I ask the angels to fill me up with love, so I can praise God, even on the darkest of days, when you don't feel the love within. And that's when you have to be humble and ask the angels to help you to raise up your prayers, since they hear you and they know that you are struggling. So, but you need to ask. They don't do it unless you ask. So that was about it. And you usually... Many people go through that there is that one time where you get so hurt that you get so close that nothing else can hurt you anymore. And when you have that hard shell, the angels knock it down to get the light in. So I've been through that quite many times. I'm a stubborn, temperamental person and so on, so sometimes they have to knock you down to let in the light. So that's what's happening. So it's just a normal part of the process, so don't ever give up. Just trust in it and it will work itself out. And the guiding angels will step forward and guide you. And have a magical day. Bye for now.